Jobber Nation, welcome to the dynamic duo of the Jobbertears podcast. As always, I'm Mrblacc here at Mr. Black. Sir Wilkins is away at work. He's not away, but he's at
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
So he won't be able to join us this week, and I guess that's fair because the boys were together 2 weeks ago with just them. So it's now me and Mr. Black's time to talk about some wrestling. We're gonna talk about the fallout of GrandSlam, which honestly speaking, TV wise, looked better. It was better this year than last year, and we'll talk
Really?
about that. We're gonna talk about Raw. We're gonna talk about NXT too. I think it's super important because I think a lot of things are starting to shift in the world of NXT, even to the little things. Like they don't even have 2.0 on anything. Not a damn thing. Hey guys, it's watching on the live feed. If you are watching
Shout out to our
live,
son Terrell, my son Terrell.
hey, you're more than welcome to ask us any questions you guys may have. If you guys want our honest and truthful opinion on anything that's going on in wrestling, you can put questions in the comments below. So yeah, we're gonna talk about NXT. We're gonna talk about Raw.
Shout out to Jonathan.
This main event that's been made for Crown Jewel for good old Saudi. Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns for the Universal World Title match.
Wait. He's going for one title?
Well, I mean, it's the Universal Undisputed. That shit is okay.
Okay.
That name is just long as fuck. So I just say Undisputed World Title because it's just both. But Logan Paul will be challenging Roman Reigns in Saudi in about a month and a half and some change. Saudi, I believe, is going to be around that first or second week in November. So we have that to talk about, and also thank you, shout outs to you too. Also we're gonna finish talking about our CM Punk, the reign of CM Punk, because I think it is slowly coming to an end. There are a lot of rumors floating around and things like that. So we're gonna put to bed that topic today. And we're gonna just talk about some last minute things on that. But first things first, Mr. Black, what's going on with you? What's something new you did this week?
I haven't been doing nothing. Like,
Why?
I don't know. I've just been chilling though, watching like old wrestling clips.
Okay, what's something old you watch? Because we've been watching, I always feel the old bug from time to time. So like last week we had watched we tried to watch Taboo Tuesday, 2005 Taboo Tuesday. And
2005
then
Taboo Tuesday.
huh?
2005 Taboo Tuesday, right? That
Yeah,
shit
there was
was
only two
fire.
of them. They only did it twice.
Yeah, and it was Cyber Sunday, and it moved it to that. And for some reason why they just never brought it back. Something that they should bring back. It's obvious
Well,
why.
NXT, I think it was a fake vote, but neither here or there. But last week's NXT was based on the vote of fans because I was trying to vote, and I was like, I can't find no way to vote. But
It probably
in
was on
them
Twitter.
doing that, it reminded me of the Taboo Tuesday, so that's really why we went back and tried to watch some of it. But okay, what
Shout out
old
to
wrestling
Stephanie
thing you
Hardy.
watched?
Basically just watch like a lot of referee stuff. I
Ooh,
like I like
who's your favorite
referees.
referee to watch? Like
Come on,
now,
what kind of question is that?
that's a
All the
good
black
question.
people.
No, I mean, there aren't a lot of black referees, but
Those are the root for. You already know like who's the godfather of this. Nick Shin.
Nick,
You know
shout
who's
out
the
to Nick.
like
Nick, I
exactly.
promise you, before the end of the year, and you may be the last guest of the year, because I think it'll be really dope to talk about this year in wrestling with you. So I promise you guys, we will get Nick in because he thinks that we hate him, but I love him to death. Like he's a ray of sunshine. So keep the end of this, keep December open, Nick, okay? Because I think that'll be
But
really
think
dope.
about it, it's just like super side note, like people don't understand like how many matches that Nick see in a year. And how many videos he's in, how many magazines he's in, how many epic pictures he's in, and he does not get the credit. Like I give him the credit because I'm in that field of refereeing, but like, yo, you don't understand how firsthand how everyone's important in that way with the refereeing. Nick Shin, like he is my Moses. Nick
Yeah, no,
Shin, like
and Nick honestly does it, and we're giving Nick his flowers. But Nick doesn't only just inspire other refs. Like honestly speaking, now I can talk about it now because it's past. But the gray sweatpants. Oh, thank you.
That
Happy
was Stephanie
Hispanic
Hardy.
Heritage Month
Shout out to
to
my son nigga
all.
Ron.
Hey guys. But yeah,
Measury. Shout out to her. Yeah.
one little actually like inspiration and sneak behind the scenes thing, you guys, I can tell you now because it's over. So when Jobberslam was kind of like Jobberslam 2 was in the works and everything was flowing, I really was like, I don't know, like matches this year I think was harder than it was planning last year. Just because I think we were just in a different mindset last year, and then this year it just kind of was like, yo, how do we top last year? But
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget it. So we had me and Danny, shout out to Danny from the Pretty Hills, my sister in wrestling. We were at a HOG show just randomly, and we were hanging out a little bit after with Nick, and we were just talking, chit chatting, and I'm one where I like to bounce ideas off of people in wrestling just because everybody's creatively has a different viewpoint, different
Mm-hmm.
mindset. So I actually asked Nick, I said, well, what are your thoughts on, because he had ref the battle royal for a different show. So I said, Nick, what is something that you want to see or whatever? Or like, what do you think will surprise people? And this nigga goes and says, me. And I said, shit, it is you. So Nick was the true inspiration of us doing the Gray Sweatpants Battle Royal this year at Jobbertears, because really it was centered around him. Of course, it was to, of course, showcase new talent. I'm super excited that Miles Hawkins was able to come up here for them DMV area and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Standing Man, there were,
Mm-hmm.
because there were people in it that I wanted in it, but Nick being that kind of wild card and kind of like getting the pop that he did, it came out beautifully. And honestly, Nick is such a great sport at just doing things for not only for the culture but for the business. So that's giving Nick Shin his flowers. So if you guys have not already followed him, make sure to follow him on social media. Check out any of the
Yes.
shows that he refs. Support him, push him. Because there are, out here there are people that don't want people that look like us and talk like us to win. So it's just super important that we support each other in that. So, all right, moving right along. As I mentioned, Crown Jewel, Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns. Mrblacc, what are your thoughts on this? And two-part question. And then on the flip side, Tony Khan made a comment about how he doesn't need to go to Saudi to go and make money, like the money's here in New York, which is not a lie. But
Mm-hmm.
what are your thoughts on the both sides, on this now being the main event for Saudi? Is it the right move? And then what are your thoughts on Tony Khan's actual comment on that?
Actually, to be honest with you, with the whole Saudi move, it's kind of like WWE see it as they are more than just a wrestling company. They're like a global brand. So you gotta do, like, WWE always has been in bed with celebrities. Always. WrestleMania 1
For
was
WrestleMania 1.
built around celebrities. And to this day, they do celebrities the right way. For example, Tony Khan brought out Fabulous. I said, okay, now if Fabulous was in WWE, he would got a segment, he had interaction with a wrestler, and
Yo,
then he had something to do with the match. Fabulous came out, all right, cool. Trina, yo, I'm looking like, all right, out of everybody you could have brought, why didn't you bring out Remy Ma? Niggas know that Remy's about to smoke. This I could tell. Nobody is like really just like, they like know the culture, but I just feel like it's kind
but
of
they
like
don't. They
they
pick and
don't.
choose. So like with the whole Fab thing, I was like, first of all, John Jenkins is not my favorite person in the world, but I just thought it was funny because I was like, of all people, when he came out with Swerve, I would have expected him to come out and remix the song that they come out to. So that's what I was thinking, like, oh shit. But I was just like, oh, y'all just had Fab come out. Listen, that ain't first of all, I appreciate y'all trying to cater to the culture, but Fab is not the culture like that. Yeah, he's a wrestling fan. He used to bring his son to a lot of shows. I do remember that. But you gotta remember, like, your demographic don't know. They don't know who Kid is.
But the thing about it is, they're in New York, so thank God for us wrestling. Shout out to New York wrestling fans,
New
B.
York, like,
Like,
listen, we battle all the time, like what city gives the best energy when it comes to
exactly.
wrestling.
New
But
York.
I'm sorry. Our city, as trying to be non-biased as possible, we just bring a different element to a show. Like, and it's just, and it's, I've been to plenty of live shows here in New York and outside of New York. So I can definitely attest to a crowd in Texas may not be as crazy as a crowd in New York. And that's not to say they're not excited about what they're seeing, but it's just a
Mm-hmm.
different, we have different environments, we have different elements, and that makes wrestling beautiful because you have people that'll come to our city, watch wrestling, experience that, and really have that story. I always talk about how I met my one of my closest friend Angie at a Battle Club Pro show almost 5-6 years ago, and
You
she
see,
doesn't
you
live
see,
here. So I'm
you see.
always, it's always good to see that. But okay, so then how did you feel about when Tony Khan said what he said? Because it wasn't like there wasn't validity to it, but I felt like it was him trying to take a shot at WWE, but it was just like, this is exactly why you guys are not competition. Like, he proved that point for me, but what are your thoughts?
Same here. Like Tony Khan, you think on a smaller level. Like you try to you like Tony Khan want to be liked so badly. That's the thing. Because a lot of stuff he do definitely show me because damn well if JR was right next to CM Punk, he would have did something about it. Tony Schiavone, Mark Henry, everybody that who works in WWE, had worked in the WWE, would have shut that man down. You understand? Like, for example, they know, like JR with the whole Ric Flair situation, it was lighthearted, so JR didn't say because it was nothing that serious, but whatever happened, happened. But overall, people know how to carry themselves. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? And Tony Khan just shows it like, yo, for you to be a leader of this wrestling company, you have to not be liked sometimes when it comes to certain decisions by these
Not
wrestlers,
everybody's
but they'll
gonna,
respect
it's,
you.
as people, now, they're, I don't want to say they're bandwagon in WWE because of, Triple H. Uh,
Yeah.
who asked that question about Trina? Well, because Diamante, if you don't know, Kenneth, shout out to Kenneth and his podcast, the Call Up Podcast. Trina is from the 305, Diamante's from the 305, so that makes sense. So I can see that, but I heard what happened, and that didn't make sense. So I was like, okay, y'all, all right, whatever. Because
You
if
know
you know,
what?
Rampage was taped last night here in New York after Grand Slam.
I
So
heard it
there
was
are a lot of
fire.
spoilers out, and the spoiler I heard about
No,
that
no, 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 no,
particular
no, 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 no,
thing.
no. Don't tell me.
No, I'm not gonna tell you, but I'm just gonna say it just once again proves the point how what the fuck. it makes you scratch your head. Um for the Finn Balor meme. But yeah, no, shout outs to everyone. Oh, Stephanie Hardy podcast. Make sure to check that out because I know she
Take
popped
it
in.
on.
Also, anybody on the live feed or anybody watching YouTube Lamb, wherever, if you have a platform, if you have something, let us know. We have no problem supporting, shouting you out, helping where we
Coming
can.
on, whatever, man.
Whatever is
But
needed. So just know that. So yeah, all right. So you know what? Let's get into Grand Slam then. So it's the newest thing is on top of everybody's mind. What are some highs and lows? Because I do think, like I mentioned, I went last year. And this year I decided not to, but I haven't. That's for other reasons. Because I'm not giving Tony Khan any of my money. But I do think it was a better show this year. But what were your thoughts? What were some highs and lows for you? Because there were some good things and there were some what the fuck things. But what are your thoughts?
the tag team match, it didn't gel
Really?
well for me. Like seeing
Why?
it on TV, it's just like I felt that they were trying to do too much. You understand?
I can
Nothing
see
really
that.
flowed. Like nothing really flowed and stuff. Like it was like, okay, like Fab came out, but it was like, oh, it's just like I guess it's a
I
lot of
will say
like
Swerve, that jacket. I may need that. That was a hot ass jacket. That New
right,
York Knicks
right,
jacket.
right,
Listen. New York is out here winning.
fire,
We out here on the
fire.
W's.
Like the match was like overall, like of course it's a good wrestling match, whatever. They did all the basics, but like to me it was just like it was cool. But Paige, wow.
Okay.
I think now her being there is gonna be great because she's like a strong presence. and she's gonna make her voice heard. And it's kind of like we need that something new. And again, people talking about, hey, who else is left to sign? She was it. She's young. She's young.
She just turned 30. Cause you gotta remember, she's been wrestling since like it feels like from the womb. You're right. That jacket was hard. I loved it. That was the only thing I
Someone
think I
said
loved
that.
about Fab.
Can you stop Brent Breaker
Can they
bleeding?
stop?
Mess.
Okay, so we're gonna talk
No, her
about this
nose
real
broke.
quick.
Her nose. Like she has like her nose breaks.
Yeah, but no,
Yeah.
but that's not the first time. Like it seems like I can get why she said that because it feels like every big moment match Britt has, she has to bleed, and that shouldn't have to be that. But when
I
it
don't
comes,
think that was on purposely though.
no, yeah, I'm not saying last night was like that,
Oh,
but
okay,
I
okay,
can
okay.
see why why she said what she said
Okay,
because
okay,
it
okay.
feels that way. Like every big field match that she has, she always got blood on her. But I'm torn with Paige. Not so much because of the neck. Listen, if they doctor want to clear you and WWE doctor may not want to, that's between you and God. That got nothing to do with nothing. That is your choice if you decide. And it's the same like with Daniel Bryan, same with Edge, same with Kurt. Like all wrestlers and injuries are a thing, and they know their body and they know the risk. So that's gonna be that. Once again, her coming up, I think it was refreshing, as you mentioned. I think, but my catch-22 is now she's taking somebody else's spot that they could have groomed and they could have done stuff with. Because now you have this interim champion that now you kind of overshadowed her win by having Paige come out. And you got everybody, you got all the women in the locker room looking like, what are you doing here? And then it's like, it just, the presentation of it just, it didn't connect all the way for me. But it always, when you do stuff like that, it's literally you're taking a place from somebody else. And you have so many women, like you have Willow, you have Sky Blue, you have even the Layla Gray chick, you have even Kiera. The first time you got to be in New York to see Diamante's ass. I don't even know how that works. I haven't seen that girl on Dynamite or any Rampage in over a year. And it's just the little things like that you can see, like you bring on such a big name, it overshadows all of that. It can overshadow. It's not to say that it will or it may or may not. Only time will tell. But that's automatically in my mind what happens. It's like, all right, now all these 5 girls that was close to the top, now they all the way down the back now again. Because now Paige is going to do something. And also, we don't know if she's full-time. We don't know if she's actually wrestling either. Like, she just came out. So Stephanie says, I love Soraya so much, but I wanted to know what she'll do in terms of action. Is she cleared? So Stephanie,
that's smart. Thank you.
To your question, she is cleared. I can tell you that for a fact. She is cleared to wrestle. So now the part of now making you want to tune in next week makes you see if she comes out and she speaks and she talks about what she's gonna do. But she is clear to wrestle. I can Bible. I have
But
I have a good
I
source
kind of
that
I
let me
really
know.
like I really feel like the division it kind of hit like
it's weird because it
there's a
honestly
wall. Like it hit a ceiling. And
so
that
you know
ceiling should
why
not
it
be
hit that
there.
ceiling, because they haven't been able to build Jade a credible opponent or a rivalry. And that's really what the issue is. When Nate started that TBS title, and I actually, because of how heavy the talent is, like how many bodies they have, having a second women's belt, it wasn't too far-fetched. But now, not only have you boxed Jade, because now she's undefeated, and who else is she like who's left? Like literally. And then you have where at this point it's like she needs to get the belt off of her to now establish herself and try to get that women's world title. That's really where Jade needs to be. But they keep her in this box, and I don't agree with it. I don't like it. It's very stale, and you don't do nothing with her really. Like
I agree.
So that's kind of the box that you were talking about that they're in now, because now you've boxed Jade. you've boxed low-key Toni Storm because now she's still interim and you don't know if Thunder Rose is gonna come back. You don't know what's gonna happen. And that's why that interim stuff is wishy-washy because look at Jon Moxley. Y'all played hot potato with a world title with him to then, oh fuck, I can't even give you the Rampage spoiler. Shit. Whoever who wins the Battle Royal thing, now it really makes no sense of why the fuck you did anything you've done. I will say that. And when we talk about it next week and you'll see who wins that Battle Royal thing on Rampage, you'll be like, Janelle, why did they do that? And I know you
are. All right, cool. I'll call you.
Wait,
so
Vaughn said Jade needs to be elevated. Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, because, but then again, it's kind of like, and this is what I keep on saying, is her in-ring has not caught up to her charisma yet. That's why. Her charisma, she just have natural charisma. So when you add more charisma, work on it, it's going to excel. Her in-ring is kind of like,
it's okay.
Right. Thank you. Like, if you ask anybody, what is a hot Jade match? They go like, she had hot moments. You feel me?
Honestly, the only opponent I feel like really... Yeah, Moxley was supposed to be on vacation, but CM Punk fucked that up for him. That's so funny. Tamara knows. Okay, so anyone that knows, don't spoil it for Mrblacc because he doesn't know. And Rampage will be, we're live today, but the Rampage will be on tomorrow. But the winner of that Battle Royal, 0 cents. I don't understand why. But for those that don't know, the winner of they're having a golden ticket Battle Royal on Rampage. It's already been taped, whatever. But the winner, this is where it gets sticky for me. They're telling when the person's going to face Jon Moxley versus it being a like you cash in situation, because guess what? They already got a nigga that has a cash in opportunity. So what the fuck? But I guess they're trying to string it along until Full Gear, which I can understand. So hey Matt, shout out to Your Sports in the building. But that's why. So the winner of the Golden Ticket Battle Royal will face Jon Moxley on the October 18th, I want to say, episode of Dynamite. It'll be in Cincinnati, Ohio, so it'll be in his hometown.
Wait a minute. Is it a Witness is Coming event?
I don't know if that's what they're labeling that Dynamite, but all I know is that it will be we all know that. I know it'll be in Jon Moxley's hometown of Cincinnati, Ohio. He has a world title match against the person who won the battle, which makes no fucking sense. It's just hilarious. It's just funny because it's like, if you're gonna, because now I'm thinking like, if you're gonna wait to let MJF and Jon Moxley happen at Full Gear here in Jersey, then the person that won the Battle Royal shouldn't have won. It should have been somebody else.
I listen, I'm gonna watch it. Like, I'm going there.
Okay, Kenneth. That's what I'm saying. That Battle Royal, you'll fuck up. It'll fuck you up. So I can't wait to see your text message tomorrow night when you be like, are they dead ass? And I'll be like, they're dead ass. Like, for real. What else about GrandSlam? So as I told someone yesterday, I'm really big on, and Mrblacc and the team knows, I'm very big on match placement because that's going to really help breathe the crowd. Like, you want the crowd to have highs and low. You want the crowd to breathe. So I was actually very happy with the placement of the matches of GrandSlam versus last year.
Yeah. I
also, I mean, it's hard to compare because they definitely had to sit through 30 minutes of a match. So I think that was a bit rough for us to start off with a 4-hour event. But I think they chopped it up. I think the matches made sense. The only one I think that missed the mark, unfortunately, was the Orange Cassidy and I'm sorry. Okay. Because I feel like they don't have good chemistry. And it was weird. And I honestly thought Orange Cassidy would have won. So him not winning, I was just like, well, what's the point in this? But okay. I I did like the backstage segment with FTR and the Gun Boys. I did like that. I think they silly, but I like it. I like silliness, so that I enjoyed that.
So did you see Darby Allin promo when he was in the subway?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, so he had the body bag and he's going out through New York to Archer
Wait,
Stadium.
this nigga is who let him do that in the city? Whoa, that's gangster. Whoever let Darby go around with a body bag?
Yeah, watch it.
Okay, no, I'm gonna YouTube that because I didn't see that. And then I'm trying to think. The Moxley Daniel Bryan match was not bad. I think for me, it's just like I've seen this way too many times, so it's just like, all right, cool. Seahawk wrote a great shout out to Seahawk out in Texas. I don't know who, because Facebook users I can't see. That once again, my opinion. Maybe you see different. That's okay. But I just felt like in that match, you know what, Stephanie, I'm so glad you brought up this because I low key forgot because it don't make no fucking sense to me.
It makes sense.
It does, but it doesn't.
And it makes no sense because I can see my opinion makes no sense because, all right, do you have a TV deal or you just winning just to win it?
But see, it goes back to I brought this up. I told Mikey this last night.
Don't waste it.
I told Mikey this last night. I said, for all the people that looked at Brock crazy, needs to make sure they look at Jericho crazy because it's the same. It's the one and same. It's the same principle, same concept. It's the same principle, same concept. It's just that one had the deal already signed, sealed, and delivered, and the other one is working on one. That's the only difference. But but I really, for me, Tony just needs to really figure out. I really wish there was a divide between ROH and AEW. Like ROH has so much history on its own, and it's weird. I mean, I get the whole, if Jericho being the champion is gonna help elevate and get the deal, then okay, cool. But I felt like it was, and it made sense in the fact that it was like Black Combat, whatever, versus Jericho Appreciation Society. That's still a thing going. So I got that part of it. But for everybody that's been waiting for Cesaro to win a world title, and then for him to lose it 2 months later, it was just like, was that really the route you wanted to go? So I agree. The brands have to split, and it's hard when you have. It feels like AEW is on every day, whether it's on TV or on YouTube. So, y'all thinking short term run the title. So
we said that.
Well, I mean, in all honesty, I'm pretty sure Jonathan Gresham would have rather. I think Gresham would have rather jobbed to Jericho if that was going to be the job he was going to do. So if we really was going to do that, then Jericho should have went for that title 2 months ago, won it.
Oh, yo, shout out from Dre from Whedon Wrestling, man. My brother from Dre. He said something that makes sense. Daniel Garcia and Jericho, that's a great feud right there. And he could take the belt off of Jericho and bring back Honor, a Ring of Honor. That could be your first show right there. Your pre champion was your world champion. Come on. That's money.
I think Daniel Garcia and him feuding, it works. I think it's a great thing. I think it'll be the one person that Jericho elevates. Because I feel like that was a question of who has Jericho elevated. And
I just think that Jericho, he's the type where like he does, but it's just like he will lose to you in other ways. You understand? Like,
wait, who's the person that said Tony's killing it? Yeah, put that back. Who said that?
Something named Eric. The guy who always come here and argue with us.
Oh, Eric Dixon, that just love to hear himself talk. We love you, Eric. We appreciate you participating, but baby, not everything deserves a response. I promise you. Not everything deserves it, okay? I get I get it, but does it make it okay? Like, does it make you look at Cesaro differently? Like, because that was the
Oh,
same issue he had when he was on the E. Everybody always complained he never got a world title spot. He never got that shine. He never got that spotlight. And then, him coming back, winning the ROH title, kind of having that spotlight, talking more promo wise, and was getting up there. And I mean, I still don't believe really anything he says, because all I see is him playing Uno all the time he speaks. So I'm just different, but um, but I
I
don't
can
know
see
if
the
it's the
bigger
right move.
picture. Like, if it's
Business
that
move,
cool,
it was the right move, but
yeah.
because it's the same thing they did when AEW first started. They had Jericho be the champion first. So I completely understand it. First of all, thank you to those that are commenting and putting their name on their
Yeah.
comment. I appreciate that, because this Facebook user thing I can't see.
Thank you.
This nigga said do rag. Somebody else had posted that on my post, and I was like, get off my
Durag
post
Vince. So overall, I
now.
think, like, I don't know what's the clear direction of AEW right now. I don't know, but Triple H over at
They don't
WWE
fucking know.
is, people may complain about, oh, certain stuff's not happening, but I feel like he's creating what Vince wanted. And look at it right now. How it's gonna be in 2020 is Triple H versus WWE is actually coming about. Like, he has WarGames Survivor Series.
Now let's talk about that real quick. So it asked, because once that was announced, I booked the hotel. A bitch is going, because let me tell y'all. About a few days ago, it was announced on the Ringer. Shout out to Brian Waters and the team over there at the Ringer.
Brian Waters. Brian Waters.
Brian said
Shout out to
he'll
his
be here
partner
next
Boozy.
weekend, so for Battle Club, so that'll be dope to see,
Okay.
bro. But announced on the Ringer that Survivor Series will have two, not one, two War Games
WarGames.
matches, a women's and a male's. I think it gives me goosebumps. Like, I literally flew to Chicago just to see War Games the last time they did War Games. So, and if anything of the last time they did War Games is any inkling of how this year's will be, we're in for a treat, because a lot of those, that NXT roster that did that last War Games, if not all of them, are on the main roster now.
Exactly, son.
So you gotta think of it like that. That was when Survivor Series Working is gonna be epic. HBK. First of all, HBK is not vocal powered to do what Real Regal does. Let me be clear. Like,
Like,
HBK out here is an old uncle from Texas that still has like an extensive collection of cowboy hats and boots. And speaking about that, what are your thoughts on them vacating the North American title to now it being contested at Halloween Havoc in a ladder match?
I love it. I love it. Because you need the quick aesthetic. They got the aesthetic picture with him and Roman, the family with all titles. Come on. That looks great on television. The picture is done. Give back the title.
So those that are under a rock, when Solo Sakai won the title, it was not a sanctioned match. No one signed it. No one said anything. So, Stephanie, I want to know why you and HBK have beef. So when NXT came on this past Tuesday, HBK started off by saying it wasn't a sanctioned match. You gotta give the title back. And now it's gonna be once again contested in a ladder match. I believe it's five of them in it. And so far Carmella Hayes is in it. The new up and coming guy from NXT UK, that's from Ghana. I swear this ladder match is about to be light skin, like Central. I promise you. Wesley has a qualifier match against Tony D next week on NXT. And then I think you have two other spots. But I love that that ladder matches have been kind of the North American titles, kind of like Holy Grail. I think they've done that before, and they've been doing it here and there. So I think it's a really dope homage, especially with Sean. Ladder matches to him are very, special to him. So I
IC
think it,
title.
yeah, it gives a personal touch to it. Yeah. So going back to War Games, Mr. Black, who do you think will be in War Games this year? We'll start with the men. The men I feel like are easier than the women.
I think the men it
Like, are you gonna
like
put the entire bloodline against someone?
and
Is this where Sami Zayn fucks the bloodline up?
honestly, to be real honest with you, in the fantasy world, I'd rather see the bloodline versus the Hurt Business. That would be fire. But I know that's not gonna happen. But overall, I want to see like Ciampa,
Okay.
Johnny Wrestling,
Okay.
Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens versus the Bloodline. That's it.
Okay. I saw that sparkling around the internet too, and I think that'll be dope. It'll be kind of like NXT alum versus the bloodline. What about the women's?
Someone said Bloodline versus Imperium. They don't have enough members.
Oh, they don't have enough people, Kenneth.
Well,
Yeah. Unless
but
Imperium can get some UK. Oh, you know who well, they thought that I had read or had saw someone had put, so William Regal's son is in NXT, if you don't know.
Yeah.
So someone had said, what if he joined either Imperium or had joined Sheamus and all of them? And I was like, I can go either or, to be honest with you. But I think it's dope that his son is on NXT. All right, so for the women.
Oh, that's easy. Sasha Banks, Naomi, with Bianca Belair and Asuka and Alexa Bliss versus those Japanese culture control or culture shock, whatever they call Bailey's group, and damage control, and then damage control, and after that she picks up two more heels. It could work.
Okay, so I push on that. They may go. I don't know why I feel like Trish Stratus is gonna be in it, but
You trying to kill her?
gut. No, so if you did not know, Trish Stratus actually just had emergency surgery. She got her appendix taken out. It actually burst. So she just had appendicitis surgery. So that was one thing. But she was supposed to give an announcement right before she ended up having that emergency surgery. And if you go back a few weeks ago, they were just in Toronto. She was face to face with Damage Control. So I don't know if that announcement was her being like, I got one more match in me, but something gives me, my gut tells me they may have to go a little old school with it. I do see, who's the SmackDown? I actually wouldn't mind seeing Liv and Bianca go against each other to keep them out of War Games. I'm actually not against that.
Yeah.
I also said, I said not too long ago, have you guys watched WoW Superheroes yet? No, I don't know what channel it comes on. We do know some of the ladies that are on WoW Superheroes. Actually, one of them will be at Battle Club Pro next week. Shout outs to Harlow. Amber Rodriguez, shout outs to her. She's on there as well.
Mm-hmm.
But no, if you have any information on how I can watch it, then I'll watch it. But I really miss Glow. Now that
I cut this out, but go ahead.
No.
I tried to charge my phone, but yeah, go ahead.
One thing I did, I wouldn't be again. I said this actually on our Facebook group. Hold on. Someone asked about Naomi and Sasha. I just saw that real quick. Yeah, I hear about Paige. We already, Eric, we did talk about Paige already. So yes, Sasha and Naomi are not under contract from what we do know. However, I don't know why I think Sasha makes a comeback this year, because she definitely told everybody she's not wrestling until the new year. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't get why no one else has listened to Sister. She's told y'all niggas she's not wrestling the rest of
She's
the
not
year.
coming. She's not
Which is
coming.
why I
Yes.
keep saying she's going to pop up at the Rumble because she said what she said. So,
Next year. She said next year.
but War Games is going to be exciting. So it's a good time, I think, in wrestling. You know, we have Extreme Rules coming up where we're going to have Seth Rollins versus Matt Riddle in a was it fight pit match? What is it?
Yeah, aka a Lions Den match.
AKA the 2022 version of the Lions Den. So they have that going on for Extreme Rules.
Someone asked, are we booking, like, what are we booking for WarGames? We already did that. Gotta watch the replay, dogs.
And actually, we'll do it next week with Sir Wilkins too. We'll do it with him too. Just in terms of War Games, I'm excited about that. But yeah, no, NXT is taking a bit of a shift, and I think a lot of people that either complain about the 2.0, are trying to give it, I don't know. It's hard because I enjoyed 2.0. I actually enjoyed it a lot better than most shows. Huge, like when I tell you, in being there, Andrew Chase, I don't know if it's going to translate on a main stage, but that shit there is gold. That Chase University shit is popping on levels that I can't even explain to you.
I heard.
They got a lot of different, the Wendy Chu girl, she had a good match this week, against that Cora Jade girl.
You got Saucy Santana wrestling.
You said Saucy Santana?
Like a saucy.
That's not his name.
Like a saucy. Yeah, like a saucy.
But I do recommend everyone giving NXT another shot if you can. They actually they're a lot of like character heavy and a lot of storytelling.
And that's good.
And if that's kind of like the wrestling that you like, then I do recommend it. Some people, and that's the one thing I've noticed is like AEW focuses on wrestling, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if there's not, like, if I can't connect the dots, then I get lost.
You still need to look. Whoever said it, look, because wrestling on this character work. Everything in wrestling is character work. The way you sell, the way you take moves, how you come to the ring, your entrances, and all of that. Y'all say what you may say, but the most entertaining part, y'all don't remember every move in every match. Y'all do not. Majority of guys do not. Y'all remember all of the big moments that make go, character work. So everybody who shits on character work and like NXT 2.0 is y'all didn't. That means that to me, y'all didn't watch the Ruthless Aggression era or the Attitude era. It was character heavy,
and those there's a lot of things like that. So I do recommend NXT because now it's not NXT 2.0 anymore. That's what fucked me up because Mikey said that he was like, "Yo, nothing on there says 2.0," and I was like, "You're lying." And I had looked back on a YouTube clip from just a week ago. And that shit had 2.0, and this week it did not. And I was like, oh, okay. Pour out the golden bishop. Also, too, talking about NXT. This Friday on Peacock, Table for Three, new episode. Will be the Steiner family. So they have Braun, his dad, and his uncle on a Table for Three episode. I've been really excited to watch it. So we'll talk about it and review it next week. But for those that are watching and listening, it will be available on Peacock starting Friday.
Do not forget, next week, October 1st, Battle Club Pro.
6th anniversary show. We're going to run down the matches and talk about some things towards the
I'm
end.
already running down for it because we already know that my son Big Time Yald's winning it. So, shout out to my son, Bazooka King. A Jobbertears
Zuka being on Dark.
Dark.
It was funny because we talked about it. It was funny. I had asked him about it the day before it came out. Like we literally, I was like, yo, when is your episode coming out? He was like, yo, when I know is when y'all know. And then the next day he posted it. So I said, well, we spoke that into existence. Shout out to Joey, Joey Ace and Santi, one of the coaches from Fallout. They were on AW last night. I popped.
Encore. Shout out to Encore.
I was like, oh my God, it goes Santi. Oh my God, it goes Jet. I was happy. It's always good to see the guys that that can really, that's really done a lot for the business and them getting that time, whether it's even a security cameo, whatever.
And that's
You're
good payday.
backstage, you're in catering, you're networking, you take every opportunity that there is, hands down. So yeah, no, shout out to everyone trying to really just make it in this game, to be honest. Like whether it's you're podcasting, whether you're wrestling, whether you're refereeing, whether you're valet, whatever it is,
Take
just
your
keep
job
going.
seriously. That's it.
Just keep
Like
going.
this business is
Um,
going to pay you back. Trust me.
what else is also to announce on Raw, Bailey versus Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's title will happen. She is now saying she's ready for her match because now the girls got the titles. So that'll be interesting to see if Bianca will retain. Um, what else is going on in wrestling this week?
All right.
Oh Lord. Well, if you want strong style, sir, you're gonna have to watch some old New Japan shit, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's just listen. One thing that I like about
But you
wrestling
like
in
what you
general,
like, and I
yeah,
don't,
but
I'm not
yeah,
mad
I
about it. I
know,
don't hate on it,
yeah,
but
but I won't shit on the next person who like wrestling. I just feel like we in a time where everybody don't have to be because you're black. You gotta be a brawler. You can be black. You can be a submission expert. There's so many different style wrestling you could be, and doesn't limit to color, nothing like that. So to me, like I be in practice, so I see it. I'm like, all right, cool. And to me, all that shit doesn't matter. Like I don't care. Like you put on a good match, you put on a good match. If the top guy is Ricochet and he's bringing money to the house, I don't give a fuck what kind of wrestling he does. As long as this man respects the craft, I don't care.
and also to Eric, and it really goes for anybody. So it's not just really singling you out, but there's nothing wrong with liking hard hitting wrestling. Like if you like wrestling and you like
Yeah.
wrestling, but also too, you want some type of ring psychology with it. You also want some story to it. You also, it's like when you're think of it like cooking. Like you want seasoning, you want different spices, you want different things in your gumbo, and that's really what wrestling is. It's a gumbo full of different things,
Hell yeah.
characters, songs,
Hell yeah.
music, whatever it is. Wait, what did Vaughn just say? I just saw it pop up and I didn't see. New Day broke the mold for back wrestlers from ringside. Yeah, whoa, yeah, pretty much, and stuck to it. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's the part I think in wrestling that's the beauty. It's a beauty is when you really stick to it and you see it actually come into fruition. Like I think that shit is dope.
Yeah,
Um,
once again, like if you want different variety of wrestling, check out Battle Club Pro. Description below. October 1st, of course. Chocolate Ref will be roughing a solid card. We're running the whole card next week. But of course, check out Jobbertears 2 House Party right
on
now on
Title Match
Title Match.
Network. Shout out to Title Match
Link
Network.
below.
Where you can watch it.
But I got saucy.
But he was just being funny, and I knew what he meant.
Like to me, like if I give someone a nickname,
I like Quincy.
I like
that.
Yeah, he's nice.
They really honestly took what really Velveteen was supposed to be and blew that shit up.
Let's
Literally.
talk about Velveteen. Like that, I got bust on the real talk. I don't know what's true with him no more.
Oh, I ain't talking about them niggas. Them niggas probably was all doing lines and shit, and ain't nobody got time for any of them. Cause you got EC3 who wasn't even asking. I mean, he was doing an interview, so the person did ask. But sir, you know how long ago that was? I don't really.
What's not long? You say something now, so listen. I don't know.
Listen, I wasn't there. I wasn't part of the audience, so I'm gonna let them do them, cause that got nothing to do with me. But listen, yeah, Quincy, I think was really Quincy. I think it's supposed to be. It's Velveteen blown up 1,000%, and then he got his own flavor. So yeah, no comment. Yeah, listen, Patty Pat will always have a place. Like in the time that he was in NXT, I always enjoyed Patty Pat, but and life is life, and
who knows what happened backstage? Who knows?
Yeah, I can't. I wasn't at EC3's house, so I can't.
I was at EC3's house. I wasn't there.
I would have rolled up, but I'm good. It's true. Like if he would have invited me, I'd be like, "Oh shit, I come up real quick." But then when shit got weird, I'd have exit stage left though. I will say that I'm good for an exit. and no one know I'm gone.
This
So.
is my thing here, right? This is my thing right here. My thing is this way. It's just like why your phone was in a, like how EC3 say I'm looking like, all right, if you see the phone with a camera on, why would you still pee? Don't you think that you will come after him and not wait so long and leave it right there? Like, how does that make sense? And how you got into his phone to delete it? It's just like you're
But
just
can we
your
just talk about
password.
how? Can we just put ourselves in that place of listen? How often are you away from your phone? So do you really think a phone was in a goddamn bathroom recording niggas peeing?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna leave that with y'all and do what you want with it, but I just
Like,
don't,
yo, it's just like, yo, it just didn't sound right. Like, Valentine, like, that situation where, like, a lot of people backstage don't fuck with him. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know
Well,
how, like,
Patrick's attitude ain't cookies and gumdrops. And at the end of the day, what it is, what it boils down to is like if you should, you know what? The perfect example. We finished watching. If you have not watched on BET, there's a 5-part documentary series on Murder Inc.
yeah,
And they talk about the beginning, the middle,
middle,
and the
and
end of Murder Inc. And I bring this up because as genius, literally, you had Lior, who was the head of a record label. You got Jay-Z, you got Nas, you got so many people in the game saying so many great things about Irv Gotti. Great things. A visionary, a genius, ahead of his time, all that stuff. They asked at the end of the 5th episode, because me and Mikey just finished watching it last night. They said, what's Irv's greatest weakness? And what they all said the same thing. His mouth. His mouth is his greatest and worst asset because he will literally talk himself into some shit. And that's really the
mm-hmm.
same with Patrick. I felt like between the attitude, him, it's nothing wrong being confident. It's nothing wrong with you being assured of yourself. But how that translates to people is a whole different story too. So this nigga talking about art. We gonna move on from Patty Pack because I listen. It's gonna be what's gonna
But
be.
yeah,
But
like, listen, I wasn't there. Like, listen, when it comes to all of this,
nigga
like, when it
said,
comes to wrestling, listen, I actually listen. I actually like roughing. So stuff that I'm not there for, I don't comment on. This is why Mr. Black still has a job in wrestling because he mind his fucking business.
and that listen,
Oh,
the words of Mr. Black. Excuse me. Any last things before we go? We do once again Battle Club Pro next week. Our 6-year anniversary show in Brooklyn. We got a few great matches
Brooklyn.
coming up. Shout out to everyone. In all honesty, Joakim has really put his blood, sweat, and tears into Battle Club, and now with me, him, and Red, kind of in the forefront of it all. I'm thankful of everyone that has supported Battle Club Pro. The last 6 years, from the beginnings to now. To see the growth, to see a lot of people that you see on national TV. Let me repeat that. National cable television. To see a lot of those people that have come through those doors of Battle Club to now be on a national TV standpoint is just, it's phenomenal. And it's a test to the mission of Battle Club Pro. So it's super excited. So please come out and celebrate our 6-year anniversary with us next Saturday
Shout out
in
to
Brooklyn.
shout out to Anthony Bowen, a former champion at Battle Club, who
That Mr. Black had interviewed.
come on, interview in the description below. Like, you have to
I don't want to
understand.
say moons ago, but he interviewed him actually the day that Bowens won the world title.
And he
Actuality.
won it. And you have to
And
understand,
then
I've been with
maybe
Bowens.
not too long after that, he ended up getting signed.
Exactly. And I've been with
And
Bowens since Power Ranger gimmick. We had the Power Ranger,
so
boy.
yeah, honestly, that was the highlight out of everything that happened
Yeah.
last night at AEW. The Acclaim winning and just seeing hometown boys win it, and seeing the struggle. They've been with the company from the beginning. And to see them win in at home and it means something, that to me was the highlight of the whole show. That would have got me in that stadium. If I really was like, all right, there's something I really wanted to see last night, it would
You've
have
been
been that.
down.
So it
Yeah.
was really good to see them be on top now, because now it's like, who's next? And that's why I'm saying that listen, everybody was hyped about them trio titles, but that puts another box. And I want y'all to understand that puts another box, because you may not have a lot of trios all at the same time, and then you know it gets sticky. So we'll see what happens. But so yeah, we got Battle Club Pro next weekend, and then the following weekend will be Extreme Rules. So we'll be back at Legends for that. So make sure to RSVP for that. There are a lot of indie shows going on in the month of October and November.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll start announcing those as it gets a little closer. But yeah, we're at the last quarter of the year. This is the long haul. It's interesting to see what the next few months will bring, because everything, on WWE side of things, these are all now stepping stones for WrestleMania next year. Oh, we'll end off the show talking about Vince. So it is rumored that they are working on inducting Vincent Kennedy McMahon into the WWE Hall of Fame next year for WrestleMania weekend.
I don't think it's bad. I think it's a great idea.
The
Like, it's a
no-brainer.
no. Exactly. But if you're gonna put Vince in there, it gotta be a fire lineup. It gotta be like, oh shoot, gotta be Triple H.
Yeah, so like it gotta be like a round robin of people inducting him. So like Austin has to do it. Probably Dwayne. Probably definitely Trips. Definitely. Honestly speaking, now that I think about it,
Hogan,
really,
John Cena.
to be honest, it should really be his children. It should be both Shane and Stephanie inducting their dad. And I think
Dang.
that should be their moment. As much as a wrestling fan, you're like, he's had great feuds with Austin. He's done this, he's done that. But the legacy that he's been able to create and continue, his children should induct him, though. So, yeah, actually, I don't know if Vince would go for a roast, though, like Ric Flair did. Like, Ric Flair's roast was actually well overdue. That nigga should have got a roast when he got inducted into the Hall of Fame both times.
Yeah.
Like, so
he
that
a
was,
roast.
and Vince, but Vince has a good humor. So I think having a roast would be an interesting take on how they induct him, or something to do that weekend. But it's LA. It's going to be a lot going on. So, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
This time in wrestling is the build up to the first year. The first, few months of next year. So it's going to be really good.
Honestly,
Also
like,
too. Oh,
I
go
was gonna
ahead.
say, like, shout out to Vince, because a lot of shit that y'all niggas love, that every other company do, everyone does with today, is you will not never see it. A lot of you will never see it without Vince. You understand? Like, Vince was the one to say, hey, we should put on different networks. You understand? Like, Vince was the one where, like, I could take my girl to a wrestling event because he made it where everybody could enjoy it, from casual fans to hardcore fans. Say what you may want to say, though, son, is without Vince, a lot of shit would not be done to this day.
Nope.
You understand? And like, without Vince, there will be no AEW. You understand? Like, there will be none of that. It will be just a bunch of territories, and that's it. We won't be able to chance to see the rest that we see right now. Like, we'll never get Hogan. We'll never get The Rock. You
And I
understand?
really want, because Andre's on. Shout out to Andre. He beat me last week on fantasy football. I'm not happy about it, but I understand. And if there was anyone I wanted to lose to, it was you, bro. But MLW doesn't get as much credit for MJF as they should. And I'm gonna leave you guys with that, because when you look at it, he got his beginnings, he got his foot in the door, he got his name while he was in MLW. And I think they should really get some credit for that, because the promos, the wrestling that he was doing there was just phenomenal. And Conan actually talks about it from time to time on their podcast. So I definitely think, once again, we live in this world where there's, so much wrestling going on. So like what you like and keep it pushing, But yeah, so once again, see, that's why I said that, because I knew he was watching. But once again, we'll be back at Legends for Extreme Rules. If you're not going to be at Legends, Extreme Rules will be in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. So if you are able to go, Survivor Series tickets I think are on sale now. They will be in Boston. Boo, but I'm gonna go because WarGames. Who's gonna miss that? Right. But then once again, last but not least, Battle Code Pro next Saturday, 6th anniversary show. Come out, support. Thank you guys for watching on the live feed. It was really cool interacting with you guys, and I love the fact that you guys put your name before the comment. That helps a lot. Please keep doing that because we can't see it unless you give access to Facebook, which I wouldn't either. So I understand. Next week we'll be back trios. We should get a trios title for us. I mean, me and you have a belt, but your brother doesn't. So, yeah. But I will still always live that up. So we'll be back. The trio will be back again. And then we'll talk about some other wrestling, and then we'll give some honest and truthful opinions about what's going on in the wrestling world. But shout out to Vaughn. He has his own podcast, the Victorious Ones podcast. Make sure to tune into that on all platforms. Vaughn has definitely been someone that supported us, so thank you so much for tuning in. And just being a part of Jobber Nation, and anyone else, thank you so much. Whether you've bought a ticket to a show, you come to us during a show. We bought a t-shirt, showed us the storyline tees. When we had our t-shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees, did I ever tell you my ex had? That's kind of like how we started talking, because he had bought that shirt.
Yeah, you told me.
Chicago. He had bought that shirt, and then the first time when I went there, he had wore it, and I just always am like, why are you wearing my shirt? So now the other shirt, the shirt with us, like when we redid the Harlem Heat one, Mikey wears it, and I'm like, thank you.
That was my favorite shirt ever. Like,
really? My favorite was the original. I'm sorry. My favorite was the DX one. And it's really because Stephanie McMahon told me that shit was hot. In my face. So. Okay, so, yeah. We may have to bring that back for next year's Jobbertears, because I actually I like the concept. We can update it to the actual larger DX, so we can add Dre and add Matt and add Tavian. Yeah, but all right, as always, I'm Janelle from HR here with Mrblacc. So Wilkins wishes you all the best. Oh, last but not least, HOG has a show this Saturday at Amazora. Make sure to go out. You got Ken Broadway versus what's Lightbright name? Charles Mason in a ladder match. It's the only match I low-key wanted to see. So they got a few other matches. So make sure to support independent wrestling. If there's a show near you this weekend, make sure to go, or if not, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hashtag Black Excellence, hashtag we are out. I was over, got the hands in motion. If you go with rolling, no need to focus. Traveling states and over oceans, you gotta wait till your coast chosen. Try to have lines outside the show like Harry Potter releases at Barnes & Noble.